The night was alive with splendor as the grand ballroom shimmered beneath crystal chandeliers, their light scattering like diamonds across golden walls. Guests in silks and jewels filled the air with laughter, their glasses clinking in celebration. At the head of it all sat Mr. Alastair Grant, a man of great fortune whose reputation was built on steel and stone, but whose heart was rarely spoken of. He watched the festivities with measured pride, his stern face betraying little joy, though the night was meant to honor him. Waiters moved with precision, balancing trays of roasted meats, fresh breads, and rare delicacies that few outside this room could ever taste. Every detail spoke of wealth and power, each guest eager to be seen, to bask in the glow of the millionaire's favor. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for, the unveiling of the cake. It was no ordinary dessert but a towering masterpiece of sugar and cream, adorned with golden ribbons and fresh flowers, rising like a monument to excess. As it was carried in, applause thundered through the hall, echoing beneath the chandeliers. But beyond the grandeur, beyond the warm glow of lights and laughter, a different scene unfolded. Outside, the night was cold and unforgiving. Against the tall glass windows, a small figure pressed her hands, her breath fogging the pane. She was just a little beggar girl, her dress torn, her cheeks hollowed by hunger. Her eyes, wide and weary, followed every movement inside, not with envy, but with a quiet ache. The laughter she heard was foreign, the food unattainable. Yet something in her gaze lingered on the man at the center of it all, as though fate had tethered her story to his in ways neither of them yet understood. The applause for the towering cake had barely faded when the millionaire's hand reached for the knife. All eyes were fixed on him, waiting for the first slice that would mark the triumph of the evening. But just as the blade hovered above the frosting, the great oak doors creaked open with an eerie groan. Every head turned. The sight that entered was so unexpected it shattered the perfection of the night. A small beggar girl staggered into the ballroom, her bare feet leaving faint smudges on the polished marble. Gasps rippled through the crowd as her presence, ragged clothes, tangled hair, and trembling hands, seemed almost an intrusion into a world too polished for her existence. Yet her eyes, wide with desperation, held no fear of judgment. She weaved through the shocked guests until she stood beside the millionaire himself, small and fragile like a shadow against his chair of honor. With a trembling hand, she tugged at his sleeve. Her voice was barely more than a whisper, but in the stunned silence it cut sharper than any shout. "Sir, she put something in your cake." The room froze. The hostess, elegantly poised in silk, paled instantly. She shook her head, her voice rising in protest. "What nonsense is this child speaking? Her